right? So what happened is the police, they got surveillance tapes from the AM PM gas station or store right there that's facing the Peterson, and they got footage from the bank. 30 hours of footage, and they went through all that footage, and they didn't, allegedly they didn't see anything or come up with anything. But however, y'all remember that footage where you see Puff and them pull out and they stop? I think that's when the girls jumped in the car with them, right? And then Puff and them pull out. That videotape was from a girl from Houston, Texas. When everything was on the news and everything, and they had the America's Most Wanted show, that girl mother's friend called America's Most Wanted and let them know that they had that videotape. And detectives from the LAPD, they went to Houston and got that tape from her. And that's how we got to see that tape. Now remember, there was a gunshot that went off right before Biggie got shot around the corner somewhere. And they people was speculating, saying that that was a diversion to get police to go over there so they could get big, right? However, that may not be true, right? Because that gunshot that took place around the corner was on Orange Grove Avenue, right before the Biggie shooting that people thought was a diversion. And that was from a dude in a Ford Explorer. He was getting out of his car and his 25 caliber gun fell on the floor. Boom. Right? It fell out the mag pocket of his vehicle and hit the floor. So he picked it up and check it to make sure it was still working. Shot a shot in the air. Bam. Just to see if it was still good. Right? But he was arrested. That guy had got arrested and charged with negligence of discharging a firearm in a public area. So detectives feel like they believed his story and they didn't think that he had any involvement in it. And he got charged or whatever. Right? So getting back to when Diddy told Keefy D and them that the feds was following them, just take these 3 bottles of Cristal, yo, go chill. They ain't want them to catch their heat. When the Los Angeles Times printed a story that the NYPD detectives may have seen the shooting of Biggie, the 2 undercover detectives were from New York and they were following Bad Boy. One was from the Major Crimes Squad, and the other one was from the Federal Bureau of Alcohol and Firearms, and they were on duty and following Bad Boy because they were investigating them for selling illegal guns, and one of the guns may have been used to shoot an undercover cop. Now, remember, I told y'all that Gene told me that he was going to buy guns for Diddy and them in Florida. And this is how he knew how all the guns that Diddy had, because he was the one that bought them, right? Now, Paul also gave a statement that night and said that when he walked outside the Peterson Museum, it was gang members throwing up signs and saying stuff to Biggie. He said that's when he was focused on the white Land Cruiser. And who was in the white Land Cruiser? A dude named Ernest Troyer Anderson, who was the driver of the Land Cruiser. And he had his man Scott Shepard with him, who they said they went to LA to build with Biggie to see if they could get, Biggie to do a birthday tour with him, you know, because they was club promoters and they was soliciting Big. So they followed Big out to LA so they could build with him. So those are the guys that pulled up in the white Land Cruiser on the side of Big right before the SS Impala pulled up. They was on the left, the driver's side. The SS Impala came up on the passenger side and stuff. But those are the guys that was in the white Land Cruiser right there, Ernest and Scott. Now, if you want to sit around and believe that Poochie story, ain't nothing light skin about Poochie. And Poochie had a whole full beard. If you look at Little C's composite, the dude just had a mustache, not a full beard, right? But I'll get back to Biggie in a minute.